Hi everybody, welcome back to another video in our video series. And I know it's been a while since I made one of these videos. Things have been busy with work and a whole bunch of things. So we're back now and let's go over an algorithm here today. And today the algorithm we're going to be going over is also found on Free Code Camp, and it's called averages. And we're basically going to figure out the Pythagorean mean. And so pretty much the problem is asking for three different definitions of means. First, we're going to be computing the arithmetic mean. Then we're going to be computing the geometric mean. Then we're also going to be computing the harmonic mean. And basically the problem is asking for us to compute these three values. And then we're just going to return this right here, pretty much exactly this right here. And pretty much in order to compute this, we're going to be saying the Pythagorean mean of the numbers from 1 to 10 in an array. So we're going to have to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so this problem in and of itself is pretty simple if you understand how to compute these, if you understand what the average or the mean is. And in solving this problem, we pretty much just have to understand exactly what these three definitions of mean are asking for, and to pretty much set up the object like this and to return it. And so let's actually go over each one in pseudocode before we actually solve it. So first one we're going to be solving is the arithmetic mean. Second one is going to be the geometric mean. Third one is the harmonic mean. And so the arithmetic mean, what does that really mean? It's pretty much the average that we're pretty much used to knowing. So pretty much saying, what's the average? We're just pretty much going to sum all the numbers in a data set. So pretty much if we're looking at this array, we're going to sum all these values, and then we're just going to say, sum all of it and divide it by the number of items in the array. So we're going to divide it by, in this case, 10. So in order to compute the arithmetic mean, let's actually create another function inside of this function so that we can just separate the different three means and just have three different solutions and just call upon it later. And so let's call this one const arithmetic. Okay. Arithmetic. Oh. Man, my spelling is not good right now, but arithmetic equals make it equal to an arrow function. And pretty much what is the arithmetic mean? Like we said, we're going to add up all the values in the array, and then we're going to divide it by the number of items in the array. So let's create a variable here called sum, and we're going to set that equal to 0. And just the iterative way, we're just going to solve it the iterative way. Simple solution, we're just going to loop over all the values. Let I equal to 0, I is less than, range array dot length, I plus plus. And then we're just going to say sum plus equals, and we're just going to say range array of I. And then the final arithmetic mean, like we said, it's going to be the sum divided by the number of items in the array. So we're just going to say return sum divided by range array dot length. So this should actually, let's just console.log this, arithmetic. Let's just call that function, and it is 5.5 like the example is asking for. So the first one, we're good to go. We have the solution for the arithmetic mean, and everything seems to be working good. So now we're going to be computing the geometric mean, and the geometric mean is the nth root of the product of the list. So if we're saying it's the nth root, we're saying, okay, so in a data set like this, there's 10 numbers here. We're going to multiply each value together And then we're going to square root it by the number of items in the array. So in this case, we're going to square root it to 10th power. So the 10th root of the product of the list. So let's get solving this too. So we're going to say const geometric. We're going to equal, we're just going to do an arrow function too. It could just be a regular function, but I'm just doing it the arrow function way. So let's say let product. And we have to set this equal to 1 instead of 0 because 0 times any number, no matter how big the data set, is going to be 0. So here we have to set it equal to 1. Let's also just do a for loop for consistency. So we're just going to say for let I equal to 0. I is less than range array dot length I plus plus. And let's also just say product, and we're just going to say product times equals range array of I. And so we have the product here, and so what we really have to do is find a way to square root this. So how are we going to square root this? We're going to say, let me think about this. We're going to say return math.pal. Let's just say product 1 over range array dot length. And so if, let's just console.log this to see if everything geometric. And yep, it looks like everything is working here. So math.pal, it's a really helpful thing to know in JavaScript. Pretty much we can exponent some values, or we can square root some values, and this is a really handy thing to know. So if you don't know what math.pal is, or you're a little bit confused on what I just did here, you can always look at the MDN docs and it'll tell you all about it. So we have the geometric mean too, and now all we need to do is solve the harmonic mean. And so the harmonic mean, the definition of it is n divided by the sum of the reciprocal of each item in the list. So what we're going to do is, because there's 10 items in this array, we're going to say 10 divided by 1 over x of 1, which is going to be 1 over 1, plus 1 over x of 2, which is 2, plus 1 over 3, plus 1 over 4, and it goes all the way to the last item in the thing. So we're just going to say number of items in the data set divided by the sum of the reciprocal of the data set. And so let's actually write out the code here, and then we could have the final 3 solutions, and we're going to just return this. So we're almost done here, so let's get to it. Const harmonic equal to and a function. So we're just going to say we're going to say let sum of this, let's just say sum of reciprocal. So let's make that equal to 0. And for consistency, like I said before, we're going to set it equal to the for loop that we did in the previous 2 functions. So for let I equal to 0, I is less than range array dot length I plus plus. And so here, in order to calculate the sum of the reciprocal, we're going to say sum of rec plus equals 1 divided by range array of I. And so we're pretty much summing up the sum of the reciprocal to the 0. So by the end of this loop, we're going to have the sum of the reciprocal. And in order to get the harmonic mean, all we need to say is return range array dot length divided by sum of rec. So this should be working perfectly as well. Let's just console.log it just so we can test our work. Console.log harmonic, call that function. And yep, it looks exactly like what the question is asking us for. And so we have our 3 functions here. So these are our three functions. Let's make that a little bit shorter. Now all we need to do is we need to output the value to look like this. So what I'm going to say here is at the end, we're going to return an object. And we're going to have one key called values and make that also equal to an object. We're going to have an arithmetic key here, and we're going to set that equal to arithmetic. Let me just copy and paste this so we don't have any errors. Or, you know what? Let's use the object shorthand here. So let's name this one arithmetic, this one geometric, and this one harmonic. So normally you would say the key is arithmetic and the value is this. And let's just call that function here. So we could just say it like this. Let's also set a geometric equal to geometric. Call that function here. And let's set harmonic equal to harmonic. I thought we were able to use the object shorthand, but I forgot we have to call the function as well. So we can't actually use the object shorthand, but our solution is going to work out perfectly because all we need to do is put in this testing condition here to make sure that we have the right values, and everything seems to be working. And so a brief recap of everything we did. I know it wasn't a super hard algorithm, but it was just really about following the instructions, knowing what the problem is asking for before attempting to solve it on your own. And there's actually a ton of things like that. I recently did an interview for React, a coding interview, and I got assigned to do this puzzle. And when I first approached the problem, I was extremely nervous, extremely scared. I didn't know what to expect. They wanted me to build an application in an hour. But just really looking at the problem and dissecting it down, just to take it a step back, really know what the problem is asking for, just looking at it step by step. First, think it out logically, understand what you really have to do. And more often than not, you're going to come across that you already know how to solve it. And you just need to really architect and map out what you're going to do step by step in order for you to actually solve the problem right and in a timely manner and efficiently. And so that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. And, thank you for watching this video. I know it's been a while, and I'm going to try to submit a video every week, and I'm going to try to submit some harder algorithms that we could do together, maybe teach some data structures here that will help you in coding interviews. And so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.